What's up, guys, and welcome back to my garage. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It would be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we set our new PB in the quarter mile with a 7.76 second pass with the help of a big ol' heckin' blower, of course. But that got me thinking, could we make our 1969 Chevelle here even faster? And I'm going to continue to refer to this as a 69 Chevelle. That way people are more inclined to comment, actually, it's a 1970 Chevelle. The algorithm loves the engagement. I'm sorry about it. But apparently, or I shouldn't even say apparently, allegedly, there is a 454 block available, courtesy of the mod that I've mentioned before. But the only way for us to obtain it is via the Junkyard. So the first thing that we're going to do today is hop in our parts truck and head down to the Junkyard to see if that information is good. I'm literally just taking one guy's word for it, so let's see how this goes. I'm guessing that we're probably going to have to reload the Junkyard a couple of times. I can't imagine we're going to get lucky here on our first attempt, but I went ahead and saved as soon as we pulled up. That way we don't have to make the drive every single time. So let's start sifting through all these parts and we'll see if we can get lucky with a 454 V8 engine block. This is a lot of scrap over here. See, I don't even know, like, could it be found in the engine bay of a vehicle? Or, because that's going to be really hard to, oh, no, it's not. Okay, so that's a 5.6. That's like the default engine. I was going to say, it's going to be really hard for us to be able to tell which engine it is, but as long as we have this, it's not going to be too terribly difficult. That's all a bunch of scrap too. I don't have a good feeling about this initial attempt. A 340 cubic inch weight. Okay, I've still got my cheat sheet here. So we currently have a 373 cubic inch V8 engine block, which is a 6.1 liter, give or take a liter. What we're looking for is a 454 cubic inch, which is a 7.4 liter V8. An absolutely massive, massive engine. I'm half tempted to buy one of these one day too. I keep seeing them, but oh God, I thought that was a 5-cylinder. I'm like, what the heck? I keep seeing them around and I don't know, could be cool. I know we've done a lot of rats, though. It is just another rat after all. Okay, 5.6. Not what we're after. Oh, and we don't have a what's this one called again? A wolf. We don't have a wolf wagon on this save. That might be something else for us to do at a much later date. I'm thinking that this one's a bust. That looks like a 5.6. Okie dokie. And this one doesn't even have an engine. So let's try. Oh. Let's try this again. I also wasn't able to find any information about the 454 on like the mod page, so I really am just taking one guy's word for it here. There's a very good possibility that it's just a big old troll, you know? I really don't even think we should be checking under the hoods of these things. Every vehicle that should have a V8 tends to have a 5.6 in it. I don't even want to bother looking at that one. So far, bunch of junk. Ooh, truck though. I'm half tempted to maybe get one of these too. A bed cover could be pretty sick. That's a 5.6. Yeah, since it's a mod, odds are it's probably not going to be found in the engine bay. It's just going to kind of be in one of the many parts piles here. I think we're going to be striking out again. I'll try to like move some stuff around, but I don't want to spend too much time doing that. Nothing in there. That's a 5.6 again. That's a 5.6 again. And a 5.6. Okie dokie. Third tries a charm, though. Right? Isn't that what they say sometimes? Here we go. Junk. Junk. Scrap. More junk. There is a block, but it's not even a V8. More junk. Garbage. Trash. It's not looking good. It is not looking good here, ladies and gents. You know what? Since the odds of it spawning in the engine bay of a vehicle are slim to none at this point, we should probably just decrease the junkyard size, which would also decrease the amount of time it takes to reload the junkyard. I've already been at this for 45 minutes, and we're still empty-handed. So we'll try a junkyard size of 1, and we'll see how long it takes to load this. So far, ooh, there we go. That is much better. So junkyard size should be like the number, oh, Kidoki wasn't fully loaded in yet. Should be the number of vehicles that spawn. But the junk piles or scrap piles in here should still be loaded. So yeah, there's only 1 vehicle inside of here. We could probably turn it all the way down to 0 if we really wanted to. We've got A block again, not even a V8 though. Another block over there, also not a V8. I think we're gonna drop. Oh, what the heck is that? Gas tank. That's pretty sick. Yeah, I think we're gonna drop it down to 0 after this attempt, just to make it a little bit faster, hopefully.
At 6, I'll throw you out. I have a date. Move, you're covering the sun. Boy, bring my beer next time. Don't slam the doors. Dream on. Have you ever lost a wrench? Morning. Next time, bring some girls with you. That plane is not for sale yet. Who let you in? That plane is not for sale. I know what you do to customers' cars. If you will start one, you can get it for free. Don't drink and drive bicycle, old man knows. You will not fool me. I know what you did last summer. I used to fly that plane. Morning. If you steal anything, I will find you. If you steal anything, I will find you. Nothing better to do?
Okay, I have been at this for so long that I actually have to take a break for lunch. But as soon as I'm done, we'll keep at it, I guess. Trust me, you do not want to see me hangry.
Later.
Alrighty, that was a very eventful lunch break. I made some breakfast burritos for my wife and I, let our dogs out to go to the bathroom, let them back in, and one of them came in completely, I mean completely covered in feces. So that was cool. Had to give her a quick bath, but we're back. So we're going to get right back into the swing of things here. And over lunch, I did try to do a little bit more research on this engine mod that we're using. Again, just to reiterate, we're trying to find that 454. But I found a list in the description of the mod where it definitely says there are Junkyard exclusive 325s, 350s, and 380 cubic inch. Right now we're using the 373. So honestly, I would take a 380, but there is no mention of a 454. Which is scary. That might mean that this has been a big old heckin' waste of time, but I'm gonna keep looking around here, and maybe the description of the mod just hasn't been updated in a while, and a 454 at some point was added as well. Again, I would take a 380, but I still haven't even found one of those.
Move, you're covering the sun. I know what you do to customers' cars. Have you ever lost a wrench? I have the best junk in all town. If you steal anything, I will find you. I used to fly that plane. Have nothing better to do? This is not a museum. Take something or leave. Raccoons took my wallet, so better be buying. Next time, bring some girls with you. They make crap these days. My stuff is better. Don't break anything. I used to fly that plane. If you steal anything, I will find you. Do it quick. I have the best junk in all town. Don't break anything. Work hard, and one day you'll be like me. What's your problem? Don't slam the doors. Have you ever lost a wrench?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer every night.
Oh my God. It's not the 454, but a 380 could do. Honestly, it's been nearly an hour of just searching through the junkyard, and I am starting to lose it a little bit. Unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to be in the best of shape, but there's a chance that we just sort of respray it a little bit and we might be able to clean it up ever so slightly. I'm going to continue going through here. Is this a 4-liter? It is a 4-liter DZ. I've seen a couple of these now, and they don't seem to be as rare as, say, the 380 or the elusive 454. So we'll probably, if we ever want to use that for a future project, we'll probably be able to find one again fairly easily. But yeah, dude, this has been an experience, let me tell you. That's just a race cylinder head. Nothing super spectacular about that. Nothing really under there other than a whole bunch of junk. I mean, it is a junkyard, so obviously you're going to be sifting through a lot of junk, but there for a little while, I wasn't seeing any engine blocks, period. It was just all like body panels and exhaust pieces. I don't know how many attempts it took me just to find this engine. Again, it's not the one we really wanted, but it is an upgrade from what we have currently. So I'm going to use all the wisecracks from Ray here as like an attempt counter. We'll see.
Next time, bring some girls with you.
What else he has to say. Okay, yep, heard that one a couple times already. Thanks so much, Ray. Oh, I should probably like actually buy this before just trying to walk out with it. Thanks, bud. All right, if we aren't actually able to clean this thing up at all, that is going to be a major bummer. Seems good. Seems pretty good to me. It was like really rusty though, so there's a chance, there's a pretty good chance that it's not going to be any good. Well, this is awkward. Okay, as I sort of expected, well, I didn't expect this specifically to happen, but this block is probably no good. Are we really gonna have to go back to the junkyard, dude? That was not a pleasant experience. Another option is we could try to run EFI, like do an EFI setup on this, ditch the carburetors, and go EFI. It's a possibility. It's not what I wanted to do today, but here we go again. Hopefully we'll be able to find a clean 380 cubic inch V8 block, or with any luck, we'll be able to find the elusive 454. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Many minutes later.
Well, it's official. I'm throwing in the towel, dude. After 30 more minutes of searching through this dang junkyard, I have not been able to find a clean 380 cubic inch V8 engine block. It exists. We know it exists. We found a really rough looking one. The 454 is still eluding me. That was probably a very elaborate troll, which I fell for. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not bitter. So what we're going to be doing instead, we're going to head back to the garage and we're going to use our existing 373 cubic inch V8 engine, and we'll try to go EFI with it instead, and twin turbo. Now, some of you are probably saying, Toogii, didn't you try to do a EFI twin turbo setup a while back and didn't have any real success with it? And you would be right. However, if I remember correctly, we were trying to do twin turbo EFI in a rat, which the rat was introduced into my garage after this mod with all those different EFI and twin turbo parts was released. So I think that's the real reason why we weren't able to get it to work. In a Jesse, or in our case here, a Jason, it should be doable. Maybe. This should be fairly straightforward, but the only real problem here is I don't really remember what all we need to go EFI and or twin turbo. So we're just going to start with a simple search here under all cars under V8 with just turbo. That's it for the time being. Turbo air filter, probably going to want 2 of those if we're going twins. So we've got the V8 twin turbo for the left side, V8 twin turbo for the right side. We're going to need twin turbo exhaust pipe left and right. And then, oh yeah, here's all the different like air boxes and whatnot. Let's go with, we're still trying to make as much jam as possible. With the blower, we made about 1,900, just shy of 2,000 horsepower. I'd really love to see this thing make over 2,000 horsepower at the dyno. We'll take it to the dyno if it all works first, and then to the drag strip, of course. Let's go with the performance intake then, in that case. This isn't the performance intake, it just mounts to that specific intake. And then we'll need twin turbo header left and right. So that's the turbo stuff now done. Let's type EFI, and we'll see what that pulls up. Oh, right. So this gives us a new fuel pump, which I don't know that this engine has currently. Oh, wait. It's this little guy right there, I think. Our fuel line kind of looks a little how you going as well. Might have to look into that. Should be fine. It's not a big deal. But we are for sure going to need the EFI fuel pump and then 8 injectors. Oh, and we need a... Oh, fuel rails right here. Okay. Never mind. We've got one specific for the performance intake, though, for whatever reason. So we'll get that sucker. We're going to need the ECU, the mount for that. See, that's the problem. If I remember correctly, that was the problem with the Rat twin turbo EFI build, is that the ECU mount couldn't actually mount to the Rat. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, that's beside the point. We'll just go ahead and buy that. We're going to need the EFI throttle body, and maybe the EFI throttle body adapter thing. I might have to do a little bit of research here in just a moment, but we'll get most everything purchased. And then 8 injectors. I'll do that here in just a sec. Holly throttle body blower EFI. That's blower specific. I don't think we want that one. We're going to need a chip. We'll just get the standard 1.0 chip. That way we can't mess it up, in theory. And then, yeah, 8 of these. Yeah, it looks like we're also going to need the Holly adapter, carburetor adapter right here. We don't actually want the carb itself. We just need the adapter to be able to mount the throttle body to that. Did I not? I didn't buy the performance intake manifold, did I? We're gonna want one of those too. I've got our performance intake manifold bolted up, so now we should be able to just toss on that. Gotta find my wrench. That throttle body adapter plate thing. I went ahead and resprayed it as well, just so it would kind of blend in a little bit better. And now we need our EFI throttle body. We'll chuck that thing on there, grab our wrench again, get those 4 bolts tightened up. And then since we have to use that fuel pump block off plate thing, I'm assuming that we're going to have to, if this is our existing fuel pump, we're probably going to have to take this thing off, which I don't really know how it mounts. Oh, right here. 1 and 2. Oop. Okay, there it goes. I'm trying to find that fuel pump block off plate. There it is. Okay, so we're going to take that, and it should sort of go around where we removed that fuel pump from. Perfect. Get those 2 bolts tightened up. I do like how it's already been resprayed. That saves me a lot of time. And I'm not really sure what we're meant to do with the old fuel line yet. We should probably try to figure out where this new fuel pump is supposed to go. It wouldn't go on like the block. Oh, it does. It goes right on that block off plate. I'm having a really hard time seeing all the bolts for this though. Probably should have done this on the engine stand, but then we'd have to take the whole thing out and that'd be a whole process. So there's 2 bolts right there. Ooh, and then 2 right here. Okay. Nice and easy. Now that we have that done, we can probably toss our fuel line back in there. And it looks like it's gonna mount to the same location, so we just tighten that 1 bolt. Easy enough. Okay, we're figuring this out. We are figuring this out, ladies and gents. I'm trying to leave as much of this process in as I possibly can as well, because I know I've seen many questions in the comments about this in the past, specifically on that video where I couldn't get it to work. People were like, wait, why wasn't it working? I guess I didn't explain myself well enough. Let's continue with the rest of the fuel system, and we'll do the fuel rail next. I'm half tempted to respray this as well, but let's just get that put on there. Are there any bolts required for that? I don't see any. So maybe we're good. Yeah, there's none around the back either. Maybe that's fine. Hopefully that's fine. I'm going to start grabbing these injectors too and popping them into position. So obviously there's 8. There should be 4 on each side. They don't actually sit into anything, do they? They just kind of hover there. Let me also make sure that we don't have to tighten those things down like what happened with the Supra. No. Seems like they just pop on there and sort of sit there. Works for me. So yeah, now we're just going to grab the rest of these, pop them all into that fuel rail, and we can move on to the turb skis. Oh, yeah, actually, speaking of, gosh, can we just get this one thing in there? Perfect. I've got to zip off the old exhaust manifolds too. Let's grab our wrench and do that real quick. All right, all the injectors are in. You already know I had to chrome a whole bunch of stuff and respray a few things like the ECU bracket right there. But let's go ahead and add our ignition coil back onto this sucker. And then same thing with our distributor. While we are going EFI, it doesn't, I mean, I don't think, it doesn't get rid of these 2 things. We'll find out here soon enough, I'm sure. But with that taken care of, let's start on... Let's put these on. Got to get our spark plug wires. There we go. Seems to line up pretty well still. And then I do want to try to find a spot for the ECU mount. Oh. It's that easy? I'm kind of tempted to go check, because we do still own a rat. We have our, like, mint condition BMW E36 M3 over here. Can confirm the ECU mount still does not work with the rat. So we'll get that put back in the engine bay of the Jason. Grab our ECU. Looks like we've got 4 bolts on this bad boy, Billy. God, leaning in and trying to tighten bolts it's like extra squirrely. Honestly, kind of drives me nuts. And then we'll take our, what looks like an SD card. Probably just slots into the ECU. Oh, there it was. Right up on that corner there. Perfect. So we went with the 1.0 chip. Obviously, if we wanted to purchase other chips to figure out what they all do, we could do that, but I don't really care to do that just yet. Let's mount up these freaking turb skis, dude. This thing's gonna look insane and hopefully won't blow up on us. Also, we'll hopefully make over 2,000 horse puppies. Would be pretty sick. That is the end goal of today, after all. All right, and with that done, let's go with our performance intake manifold. It looks pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie, that does look pretty dang weird. Doesn't seem like we can tighten up anything on those, so is what it is. But to be fair, we've got air from the turbos going in, right? Going into our new throttle body adapter plate thing. And we can take these, it's probably the other side, and get them mounted to the back of these turbos. 4 bolts is pretty weird. Does that make it a T4 turbo? VAG people will understand. There we are. And last but certainly not least, the turbo air filters, ladies and gents. These do have, it looks like screws, not bolts on them. So we're gonna have to drop our wrench for that, grab our handy dandy screwdriver, lean on back in here, get those 2 tightened on that side, and these 2 tightened on this side. Okay, it's time for a quick save, and then we can try to fire this bad boy up to see if it actually is going to work. I am very, very nervous for this. I'm pretty sure I got everything connected that needed to be connected, though. Here goes nothing, ladies and gents, but hopefully something. Okay, we're gonna shut that right the heck back off. I forgot to reinstall our little side exit exhausts, so I'm gonna do that really quick, and we'll let it run for a minute or two just to make sure it's not gonna, get all rusty on us out of nowhere. And if all is well, we'll take her down to the dyno to see how many horse puppies she's pumping out. Now that we've made it here, that's the easy part. We need to pop the hood really quick and just make sure that our engine block or cylinder heads aren't like super corroded and gross looking, because that's what happened when we tried to do this on the Rat way back, whenever that was. So discouraging also having to go through all of that, but seems good. Doesn't seem like we're having any issues whatsoever. I might even just leave the hood up too, because we'll still be able to see the computer just fine. Oh, let's shimmy that over a little bit. Quite a lot of it, actually, before we strap her down, There we go. Seems a little bit better. So we'll head in and pay the measly $100 that it costs. Wow, love the outfit. Such cute, OMG. 100 schmackaroonies. We'll strap her down, and we'll see what this baby can do. I did also, just before we left the garage, I did also purchase the EFI chips. I got the lowest one, the 0.5, and then the highest one of the 1.5. So we'll kind of be able to compare all 3 of these, really, just to see what they do, because I wasn't able to find much information out about that stuff. Here goes. Let's undo the e-brake. We're just gonna go straight up to 5th again like we did last time. Okay, 1659. All the way back to neutral. We'll shut her down. And then let's pop out this guy. We'll put that one, the 1.0 chip, back in the backpack. Let's go all the way up to 1.5, and we'll see what that does. It might be more tame. It might be more power. I don't know how it works whatsoever, but 1659 isn't super good. I was hoping for, I was hoping for a much, much higher number than that. Idle horsepower is 750, excuse me? 5th gear? All right, so that's the way that we want to move, for sure. Just shy of 2,500 horsepower, my God. Back down to neutral. Let's just make sure that that is really how this EFI chip system works, you know? We'll pop, what was this again? The 1.5? We'll pop this one back out. And yeah, it was the 1.5. We'll try the 0.5. So this should be less, if it works this way, it should be less than 1,600 horsepower. Hopefully. Or maybe it'll be 4,000. I have no idea. Turn her over. Idle horsepower is 895 now? 5th gear? Okay. That's better. That's so much more tame. That's kind of what I expected. I'm gonna drop the other 2 on the ground so we can figure out which one's which. So we want the 1.5, and we'll put the 1.0 and the 0.5 back in our little backpack. Obviously, there are other, it looks like an SD card, so I'm gonna call it that. There are other SD cards, sort of like in between that range, but 0.5 is the lowest and 1.5 is the highest. So we're gonna just leave the 1.5 in there. That is insane. Seriously, just shy of 2,500 horsepower. Let's take this bad girl over to the drag strip and we'll see if we couldn't do a better time than 7.76 seconds. Why does it look like my battery's corroded? I probably should have paid more attention to that when we had the hood open. Yikes. Okie dokie. Let's actually go over to the parts store then really quick. He should still be open. And just get a new battery real quick. Maybe the one that we put in there was sort of on its last leg. But our starter too. Our starter was getting a little corroded and gross as well. So I went ahead and replaced that before we even got on the road. This is a perfect example of why you should always just keep your tools in your backpack, because you never know.
Cheapest performance parts in town.
You sure do. You never know when you're gonna need to fix something. I thought they had batteries in here. Oh, they do. Okay. There we go. $69. Nice. We're gonna go ahead and scoop this sucker up and just quickly swap it out for our old one. I might, there's probably a core charge actually on this, so I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it inside of his store with him. Okay, this thing is absolutely ridiculous. It spins the tires, I'm not even kidding you, in 5th gear like it's nothing. I'm very curious to see if it can even put all the power down to the ground with the width of the wheel that we have, or width of the tire, I should say, that we have in the rear then. So again, just to reiterate, our best time here with a blower is 7.76 seconds in the quarter mile. We might set a record right here. Rat me out. You never know. I'm gonna line up and we'll see what she's got. Dude, it's just gonna spin. I don't know if I should neutral drop this one. Yeah, I probably should. Here we go. And we're out of here. Oh my God. Right, so we did, hey, before you say anything, we did get a better time. 7.71 seconds. But at what cost? You know what I'm saying? Can't even get out of the dang thing, it's so mangled. Oh yeah. All right, and this is prime example of why we save. So I'm gonna reset, And we're gonna try that again. I wanna use my controller this time so I can maybe shift a little bit more smooth. Oh my God. We're lined up. Here we go. It's shifting much more smoothly. Okay, 745. I was hoping we could break into the 6s. There's a chance that we still can. So much better with controller, but honestly, you can't even drive this vehicle in any other gear but 5th. Like, look, we're just cruising along, and then you floor it, and it just comes out of nowhere. All right, well, you know what? I'm good with this. This recording has gone on for literally all day long. It was not supposed to be this way, but we got our best time. We have our new best time, 7.45 seconds in the quarter mile, and I'm happy with that, honestly. So on that note, I do think that's where we're gonna have to wind things down at for today. But once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.